Okay, we're live, everybody. Give me 1 second. I gotta reset some stuff. You can see that July Super Chat goal is still up there. It's not July anymore. We haven't actually done a stream at all in August, so I have to fix that. And you are looking at a live view out my windshield of a tree. That is a tree. That is indeed a tree. I'm taking care of some business transactions here in the background. I'm going to get talking a little bit here in just a minute about the update here, what's going on here in Kentucky with these floods. And I'm not looking at the chat just yet because I'm trying to log into my McDonald's app so I can order my apple pie. It's just not working right here, guys. It is not working right at all. It's ridiculous. I have a word with these people. We spend so much time here. I feel like we should have a discount or something. Hang on, I have to add a beverage. I need a Powerade. Stand by, guys. We have a lot to discuss tonight. I am storm chasing, kind of, guys. Sort of. In a way. You're going to hear all about that in about 2 minutes. I'm also trying to reset that Super Chat goal because we're still staring at last month's. We've already got the transmission thanks to Bob, so we do not need another new transmission. Don't be confused. So we're going to go through the drive-through line here. Seriously, dude? Alright guys, we're going to cause one heck of a traffic jam here. So I'm going to give you all an update here about Kentucky. I just am kind of waiting for everything to go live. It takes a couple of minutes for everybody to join on. We've had a major flood happen down there in Kentucky. I know there's been floods elsewhere, but I think the most noteworthy right now is the one in eastern Kentucky. God dang it. Hang on, guys, I'm trying here. This is stuff that I'm supposed to do before the stream. Okay, and we're live. Excellent. I thought that we were not live, but we are live. That's excellent. Hang on here, I gotta order.
What can I get for you?
Howdy, I've got a mobile order. It's EF24.
A mobile?
Yep.
What is it? EF24?
That is correct.
Okay. You can pull up to the first window.
Okay. God, that was rough. Alright, I see a couple of you guys chiming in there. I really can't monitor the chat, guys. I'll be right back to it, but Streamlabs isn't working right here. Trying to figure that out here. Okay, that's fine. It's cool. I didn't want a receipt anyway. So just ignore the Super Chat goal. In fact, I think I could take it off the screen. Alright guys, I'm in Kentucky right now. I'm actually headed to a storm. Kinda. Right now, I am headed home. There is a potential for flash flooding in Wisconsin tomorrow. A moderate risk, which is the same risk that we had when the Kentucky floods happened. So we have a moderate risk for flash flooding, or I'm sorry, a moderate risk for excessive rainfall that could lead to flash flooding. And just to be clear, everybody, I hate McDonald's, but it's like the only option right now, so we're just going to suck it up and deal with it. I got quite some good stories to tell, some bad stories to tell, and some disappointing news as well. But guys, I'm in Lexington right now. I actually left about 2.5 hours ago. We've been down in the Hazard, Kentucky area. The reason I say we is because we had several of our moderators and YouTube members come down and give us a little bit of assistance over the past couple of days. But we've been in the Hazard, Kentucky area with this major flash flooding that happened across several counties. Very well, that could be one of the worst flash floods that has occurred in a very long time. And we were able to make some good friends. But the reason I'm live right now is because I'm supposed to be still helping out down there. I've been helping out basically for the past 10 days or so since the flood happened down there. But I came back, we're headed back to Wisconsin because, like I said, southeast Wisconsin tomorrow has the potential from Madison to Milwaukee for flash flooding. So we need to be out here. And after that, I'm going to just turn back around and come back down here. So we're actually going to be returning to Kentucky to assist with the floods in the next, probably Monday. I would suspect that I will leave and then return by Monday evening, but there's very limited cell phone service, so I can't stream from down there. But with the help of some people, I was able to film kind of a documentary style video here that I'm going to release as soon as I can finish it about the flood victims. We helped a lot of people, and I won't spoil any of the stories, but it's going to be long. Okay, thanks. Just hang on, guys. This is really awkward right now. Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Hey, you too. Guys, that was the most awkward McDonald's transaction I've ever had. She was just like staring me down. And I thought maybe I was at the wrong window. But I was indeed at the right window. She was just really weird. That's fine. Yeah, we're not streaming to Radar Omega right now, guys. We only stream to Radar Omega when we're storm chasing. They're likely testing something. Yeah, Ryan was a big asset. The thing I really appreciated about Ryan is I had 2 members of our YouTube channel come down, and because the reason they didn't have a hotel room booked is because the hotels were all booked up, so they just weren't able to find one. But we were all sitting down at dinner, and Ryan offered to buy him a hotel room, and that made me really happy because they weren't his responsibility. You know, but he offered, so I saw the comment about Ryan. So yeah, that made me really happy, and I was really really impressed to see that. So he's a good guy. We did a pretty big effort down there, but I don't want to confuse anybody. The big donation drop that we did with Ryan Hall, guys, that's Ryan's money. I don't want to take any credit for that. You know, Ryan raised that money on his own, and he worked his ass off to be able to raise that. Ryan kind of left the show, so to speak, after he made the donation drop, because he feels that his most important role in that entire disaster was raising the money to supply the supplies, and he completed his task, and he went back home to get ready for his next task. I saw some people dogging on him for not staying down there and volunteering. Here's the deal, guys, like, not everybody wants to or is comfortable helping out in a mass casualty incident where there's literally lives lost, everything's destroyed. Like, that's hard on people. And I'm not saying that's Ryan's reason, but guys, the guy literally went, and I watched him swipe his credit card for like $50,000 to $60,000 worth of stuff, and then proceed to take everybody out to dinner. Like, no reason to dog on him. And I know nobody did in the chat, but a lot of people were dogging on him and like on Twitter and stuff, and it's like, you know, that's just too bad, because the guy was very helpful. He really was, and I'm happy to call him a friend of mine. He also did some things that I don't think that I want to mention on camera here, because I don't know if he's comfortable with them being public, but he took care of some people and shook some hands, and I think really gave a very positive change in a couple of people's lives. And I'm really proud of him for that. I think he's a good asset to the community. So basically what I've been doing over the past few days is helping out my friend Chris Hall. He's just a local volunteer that felt like he needed to do something for these people. So we've been delivering supplies, working with sheriff's departments, fire departments. I won't say too much, but we responded to a medical call today. Had to pretend we were ambulances today, I guess. We've been all over the place, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's been the most challenging experience of my life because of my close involvement with this. If I had shown up to this incident without being there when it happened, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but because I feel like I'm responsible for some of the outcome of it, I'm very connected to the incident, and I feel like I need to see it through. So I'll be honest, it was a very difficult thing to do, but it's probably been some of the most fun that I've had in a long time, because we met some of the most positive and enthusiastic people down there. The people of eastern and central Kentucky are, guys, I'm sorry if anybody takes offense to this, but if you're from there, you don't, are the most redneck, hillbilly people I've ever met. But what comes along with that is a big sense of family, and everybody there seems to be family. I witnessed a Kentucky State Patrol cop yesterday hand a church pastor a $100 bill out of his own wallet because he just thought what he was doing was really nice, and they were gathering supplies, they were making a difference, and the state cop handed it to him and didn't make a big deal out of it. He just told him to take it, and the church pastor didn't want to take it, but the cop made him take it, and I thought the guy was going to start crying. So these people are family down there, and I shook that guy's hand and I told him, I said, what you just did right there was probably one of the nicest things I've ever seen. You know, because we don't know. That could have been that last $100 in that guy's wallet, and I thought that was probably the nicest thing that I've seen. So we met some awesome people. We built a bridge. You know, like I said, I'm not going to give all the stories away because we've got one heck of a video that's going to be coming out, and I'm going to make two versions of the video. We're going to have a censored version and a non-censored version, because I came across some really disturbing video on my 360 camera that I forgot was running the night of the flood, but I think it's important to show it because a lot of people are saying that this wasn't a big deal and that these Kentuckians are overreacting. I've seen posts where they're saying they're overreacting, blah, 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 and it's not the case, guys. What they just went through is a once-in-a-lifetime event for almost anybody. So there's going to be kind of a clean version for people that don't want to see the sadness and just want to focus on the positivity, but there's also going to be a version that shows some of the distress that these people were going through, and I hope to God that these people never go through that again, and I don't think they ever will. That was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But if you're not familiar, or if you don't understand why this flood was so devastating versus a normal flood, guys, this is literally in the heart of Appalachia. I mean, this is the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. You know, and if you're not familiar with that, I know a lot of the people that were volunteering weren't familiar with the terrain, but guys, the back roads are all mountainous shelf roads. Like, you have a main highway, and then you have these 3 or 4 mile long side roads, and they go up into the mountain hollers, you know, which is just basically a habitable portion of the mountainside, kind of like a little valley or whatever. And we had like 12, 13, 14, whatever inches of rain come dumping down, and all that water had nowhere to go but through these populated areas in the mountains. So you've got these roads with 10 to 20 residents on them, and they just got, guys, they got flushed out. They literally got flushed away. We found a trailer the other day, like a mobile home, and we have no idea where it went. There was mobile homes, we had no idea where they were. There was a guy looking for his safe because he had all of his money in it with an excavator. There's literally homes littered all the way down the river. It's normally a stream, but it was a river. And guys, this was the most horrible weather disaster that I've ever seen. It looked like a tornado went through there, but with water. And the positive side to this all is I also saw probably over 2,000 volunteers that were doing their best to try to make a difference for these people. And what we got to take away from this is even when we have an absolute catastrophe of unbelievable proportions, there's always going to be people that are going to be there to help. And I see a lot of people on social media saying that they're heroes and blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. The heroes aren't us. The heroes aren't me. The heroes aren't the fire department or the cops. Normally they are, but not this time. This time the heroes are the neighbors, because it's literally the person living next to somebody. I've got an interview today from somebody who wanted to be on camera, who I was explaining how I got down there or whatever, and I didn't ask, but she offered. She wanted to be on camera. She wanted to show everybody what the hell was going on. And she was explaining that her neighbor literally saved her life and kept her from falling in the river and dying when she watched her other neighbor go in the river and die. So, media BS. I don't care if ABC, NBC, Weather Channel, I don't care who is on social media acting like the heroes, handing out a loaf of bread or cutting up a tree branch to stage it for media. I don't care who it is. The real heroes aren't us. It's not the people that we brought down. Hell, it's not even the volunteers. It's literally the frickin' neighbors that were in this flood, because I've got several accounts of people who had lost their homes, who were still going door to door to try to either wake people up and get them the hell out of there, or trying to physically pull them out of the water. I've got people that have told me, several people that have told me they tried to help people out of the water, but they lost them. Guys, this was literally a catastrophe of unbelievable proportions, and we will truly not understand the scope of this natural disaster for months. There's several missing that probably will never be found. There's people that don't know where their homes went. I would say a good 80% of the homes in this area are either double wides or single wide, like trailers, manufactured homes. And guys, they float. They literally float away, and these people have no idea where their homes are at all. You know, we tried to make a difference where we could. There was, I don't know, we tried. Here's the deal. My group doesn't have a lot of money, and we have limited resources, so we can't do a whole lot. But we could try to make a couple of people's day better. So we really focused on one small area when I had the whole group down there, and I think we made a difference there. We tried to do something as small as bring some kid that just wanted a bag of Doritos, to, we built a bridge for a guy so that he could actually get to his damn house. And it's not, when this video comes out, it's gonna, I'm trying to make it not look like it's all about me, but I took a step back from the volunteering for a couple of days and actually held the camera and let the people that came down with us do the hard work, and they did a spectacular job, and I don't want to take any credit for their work. Kara, god damn it, like, I don't even know, whatever. She keeps telling me how to actually say her name, but I always say it the wrong way. It's because I'm from Wisconsin, that's why. Carrie was down there, Nikki came down, Nikki's brother came down, Kathleen and her husband came down. So we had a good group. And they worked their asses off, and I think that they changed the lives and potentially made us the most significant impact on somebody's life that I've ever seen. Because there was a good handful of residents on one road that we specifically were targeting, because it was the road that I was on that night when I about lost my own life, that I feel like needed the most attention, because that's where I was that night. And guys, these people, a lot of them felt like they were completely forgotten about and that they were on their own. And we took, well, not we, but somebody in my group took a chainsaw to these guys that Chris Hall provided, and apparently one of the guy that got handed the chainsaw started crying because it made his day. We're talking about people that have lost everything, and their day was made by receiving a chainsaw so they could clean up their freaking yard. And it's simple things like that. Guys, if I had all the money in the world, if I took $1 million in cash down there, not a single one of them would take it. They might take $100 or two to go buy themselves something to eat, but they would not take it. And I wish I had a bunch of money, guys, because if I did, I would I don't know, we would do something. But that's the kind of people that are down here. They are the most humble and non-selfish people I've ever heard. They put their neighbors first. They don't care about themselves. They care about the people around them. And I truly believe that if I didn't have a reason to go back to Wisconsin, I think that I would probably move there, because the sense of family there is incredible. I've never felt that anywhere else. So guys, if you want to volunteer and help out, these people need help, and they're going to need help for months, if not years. There's people that are not going to get access to water for months. I believe it was the Perry County Sheriff that put out saying that there was actually a neighborhood or a subdivision or a holler that would not get water access for months, if not years. The infrastructure has been totally destroyed in some of these places. I mean, these guys need help. They need supplies, but I think most importantly right now, they need manpower. They need help. They need people to help clean their yard. They need people to help go through what's left of their trailer to find their family photos, stuff like that. So I guess that's really all I wanted to say, guys. That's really why I wanted to go live and just give an update, because these people are downright amazing. They are the true heroes of the situation. It ain't storm chasers, it ain't media, it's not the cops, it's not the fire department. The cops and the fire department have been immensely helpful. They've been truly amazing in this. But they would agree with me that the true heroes here are the neighbors. And one name I want to mention is Chris Hall. He's now a very good friend of mine. He's been coordinating most of this. And guys, this guy literally started with 4 loaves of bread, and now he has a warehouse full of stuff to give people. And they're not just handing out a bottle of water. They're literally taking this stuff. They're taking meals and food and cleaning supplies and chainsaws and brooms and literally everything these people need, they're taking it to them. If these people cannot get out of their home or they don't have transportation, they are taking it to them. In my opinion, I think one of the most influential people in this entire situation has been Chris. I know a lot of you guys have seen his posts on Facebook. Guys, the guy is 22 years old. And I talked to his mom. Like, I ran into his mom and I said, I hope you're proud of him. And she said she was, and she about cried. I have never seen anybody pull this off. And there's a little bit of drama that happened, and I'm not going to talk to you about it. I'm going to let Chris talk to you about it sometime. But the place that Chris was set up for donations kicked him out of there because they wanted to sell their money or make money elsewhere, and kicked him out, and was going to really fail the people of that community. And that's disgusting. And believe me, I let the owner of that property have a piece of my mind, and so did another person there who literally wrote her a blank check and said, however much you want for them to stay here, fill it out. And she wouldn't do it. She's an absolute terrible person, and we'll highlight that later. But a local small business opened up their warehouse and kind of put their operations aside to let Chris bring the operation up there. And they've been up there ever since, and they're doing one hell of a job. And not only is this business allowing them to operate out of there, but they are actually being part of the operation. The owner of the company is literally doing just as much work as everybody else up there. And that's just how these guys are. You know, they'll never be able to truly rebuild these communities 100% to what they were, but they're going to try. I promise that. Yeah, Chris Hall is a storm chaser. He's I think he's on. I don't honestly know how to find him on social media, guys. I really don't. But I will be sharing more of his stuff, and I'm going to post links to how to find him when this video comes out, because Chris is going to be in it extensively. But I am headed home temporarily. Got a flooding threat in Wisconsin tomorrow, and I'm going to turn back around and come back down for these guys. But I want to thank you guys. We had a stream, and it's still open because we're trying to start a disaster response team here. I did the last live stream I did about a week ago. I was trying to round up a little bit of money to go help these people. The money was going to basically be used to get us down there and to buy supplies. We were able to buy, through a combined effort between donations from Nikki's brother, got some donations, and myself, we were able to bring, I would estimate it to be about 2 truck bed fulls of water, because there was one coming down there, and then I shuttled a bunch of water. A bunch of batteries, because I noticed there was a battery deficit, so I bought a bunch of, I think I bought like $400 worth of double and triple A's. I bought a bunch of flashlights at Walmart, and a bunch of like those, not the real cheap rain ponchos, but some of the kind of less disposable ones, and a bunch of rain boots. We were able to buy a bunch of stuff and take it down there, and they appreciated it, trust me. We were able to buy gas for people's generators. As a group effort, we were able to purchase a generator for somebody. So thank you guys. Crowdfunding is a real thing. But I'm really happy with what we accomplished. I also have like 13 hours of video to go through, so it's going to be tough. And I appreciate you guys saying thank you or whatever, but guys, I don't want thanks. I really don't. Please, like, I really don't. Like, the people that need the thank you is literally the people down there right now. I mean, the community down there is nuts. It's amazing. You know, there's been a bunch of stuff going on social media that it's drama that I started. I apologize, but I made a post that, you know, it's time to work, not try to get famous on social media. Guys, the reason I'm not posting pictures of us or video clips of us, you know, doing donations or anything is because I don't want to distract from the community. I don't want to be like, hey, look at me, I'm helping. I don't want that. I want everybody to be focused on the community. I've been trying to take pictures. The video that I've been getting has been of the community down there. I'm trying to focus this video that we're doing on the community's response, not our response. Because I don't want to distract for profit what's going on down there. And I know it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And we also didn't have phone service down there, so it wouldn't have really been possible to stream anything anyway. And yeah, thanks to Bob from West Georgia Auto Transmission for getting my transmission just in time to respond to this flood. Without them, we would have been screwed. Volunteering in the recovery efforts, because I get really upset that I've lost everything. You know, they have no idea what to do. They're in shock. They need somebody to literally grab their hand and say, this is what we're going to do. And that's what's being provided down there. And it's truly amazing. So with that said, guys, that's really all I want to say. I do have to eat, so please allow me a minute here to try to eat something. But I know St. Louis flooded, Death Valley flooded, but guys, this was, because of the mountainous terrain, this was literally a catastrophe of unbelievable proportions. Like I said, we are not going to know the true scope of this disaster for months. But I am really proud, though, of, like I said, the effort that Ryan did. I'm not trying to distract away from what he, the guy truly likes helping people. And I know some people go after him on social media, but I promise, especially after the other day, he really truly does want to help. He made a lot of people very happy with what he did. Anyway, we didn't really miss much. We were kind of out of service for about a week there for live storm chasing, but it doesn't look like we missed too much, so it happened at a good time. Anyway, guys, like I said, I do have to eat here, but I think that it was important to do a little live update here. But I am going to be dealing with a possible flood threat. It's not going to be anything like Kentucky. There is that moderate risk for excessive rainfall again there in southern and southeast Wisconsin tomorrow. That's actually why I'm headed back. And after that, I'm going to head back down to Kentucky. slight risk for severe weather tonight for like southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa. I did see that. I'll check on that here in a minute. There's also potential that maybe in the next week or two the tropical side of things will start to develop, maybe. In a slow tropical season so far. I am between Cincinnati and Lexington. Lucky to have decent weather so far down there. It's been hot and a little bit rainy, but it's not like it's been a constant rain down there or anything, so it hasn't hampered the relief efforts too bad. But almost the entire city of Hazard, Kentucky, is like without water. The water mains are so badly damaged. Working with our moderators here also over the next couple of weeks, getting ready for hurricane season. We got quite a few people on tonight. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, I apologize for not having any sort of streamed content, but phone service down there is just awful. we're gonna have a pretty slow week here, I think, though, overall for like severe weather. Not really seeing much for a risk of any severe weather, really. Kind of an unusually quiet week. We are going to be doing a couple of things for members. Those emojis or whatever are supposed to be updated here shortly. I was given the final copies of them, and we're going to get everything updated. And we're going to start the members-only live streams again. We tried starting them, but every time it seemed like there was always a storm chase in progress. So now that we're kind of in the off season, I think we're going to schedule them and try to make them on Saturday evenings. Phone service was so terrible down there. One of my phones actually didn't have any service at all until I drove like an hour away from there. It's just real terrible in the terrain. We're almost to Ohio, I think. I don't know. I don't drive this way very well. In fact, I'm surprised it didn't take me through Louisville. It's actually kind of weird. So I had a lot of questions come in too while I was gone. We had a lot of people contact by email too. So like if you've sent an email in, I probably won't get to answering it for another day or two. I promise I'm not ignoring you. So, God, I don't even know what day it is today. Saturday? Sure. Okay. So I think tomorrow, Sunday, I haven't really looked at any of the models, but like I said, there could be a bit of a flash flooding threat. South Central and Southeast Wisconsin, that's what we're targeting. I'm not really too impressed about it. Doesn't really look that substantial, but it's something to keep an eye on. I think there's a flood watch up there as well. I'll try to double check on that here. Yes. Okay. So there's a flood watch in effect for for South Central Wisconsin. A flood watch. Some heat advisories in place northeast Iowa and northwest Illinois also. There's a flood watch from tonight through Monday morning. National Weather Service says a flood watch is in effect. And there's an increased confidence in multiple rounds of thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall and a threat for flash flooding through Monday morning. The first round of storms will be later tonight into Sunday morning, and the second round of storms will be Sunday evening into Monday morning. They're saying 2 to 5 inches is likely in the area of focused thunderstorm activity, with locally higher amounts possible. Flood watch does include Madison, but it does not include Milwaukee. At least not right now. That could change. No idea why this guy's riding in my blind spot. I'm getting annoying. lot of people have literally ripped off everything I do. So we're open to suggestions for new things. So if there's something you think we should be doing with the YouTube channel, you can contact us by email. There's a contact thing on the website also. So if you have suggestions for things to do with the live stream or things to do with videos, let me know. I would love to hear about it. Tropical season's been slow so far, really slow. But it could pick back up pretty rapidly. Gulf of Mexico water temperatures are still pretty warm. So I made the decision to leave here a couple hours ago, so I'm not going to get all the way home. I'll probably stay in Indianapolis tonight. Oh shit, hang on. Cops calling me. Hey, is this Will? Hey, this is Vince Welty giving you a real quick call back. I just missed you. Not too bad. I think I had seen you'd sent a video message or whatever in to probably Ryan or whatever, saying thanks kind of for what we were doing down there. And I just wanted to say that that's appreciated. And I hope everything you got going on down there can solve pretty quick. You know, it means a lot that somebody kind of recognized what we were doing. Obviously not doing it for recognition, but you know, everybody down there has been so friendly, and I just wanted to say I appreciated that. It kind of made my day. Yeah, it was a mess. I mean, I wasn't quite sure what the heck I had just walked into, but you know, we were lucky that there was somebody standing in the middle of the road saying something, because I tell you what, I mean, you go back up there on 15, a little bit north of 10 Mile there, and kind of getting up into Lost Creek, and you can see where that debris was over the road. And I'm tell you what, I'm kind of glad that I'd stopped there to help somebody, because I don't know at what point that debris was going across the road. But if I would have been driving across the road when all that went there, that would have been a pretty bad deal. So it all worked out for the best, I think. Yeah, and you know, you'll probably never see it again, I hope. I mean, that was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And it didn't get the media attention that it deserved, because, you know, it wasn't a big city. But I tell you what, that was the most widespread, gigantic catastrophe that I've ever seen, and it probably will be for a hell of a long time. Well, you as well, and honestly, if something ever like that happens again, and you know, you need to reach out and ask somebody if it's going to be that bad, your phone's always on. So you guys, you know, be safe as well, because we appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, ran into plenty of your, probably your deputies in Breathitt County too the next day, and they all said the same thing. They're just all like, what the hell happened? And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know. I have no idea what the hell happened. So, you know, you guys stay safe, and the same goes to you, because a lot of people, you don't get thanked enough, and without you guys, that would have been even worse. Well, I'll let you know the next time I'm down there and Google Maps takes me into the middle of nowhere and I need a local, because I could have used a local probably about 15 times this weekend. It kept taking me to the middle of a field or the middle of a creek bed, and I'm like, what the hell is this thing doing? So I'll keep you in mind. Alright, that sounds fair. Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I just wanted to reach out and say thanks, because, you know, I know it's weird to say thanks for saying thanks, but, you know, I used to work for an ambulance company, and I feel like cops always kind of get the short end of the stick, you know, and it seems like nobody ever likes them. And people don't realize, you know, what you guys go through and how much you're putting up with, and, you know, you sending that in, I think it made Ryan's day, too, because the second you sent that in, he was like, hey, you gotta look at this. And I'm like, well, that was awful nice. So I appreciate it. But yeah, you know, you ever need anything, let me know. But hopefully everything gets cleaned up, and, you know, everything will be life as usual eventually. That's right. Well, you have a good night, and well, I'm sure it'll be a better night than it was last week. So you take care, and yeah. All right, take care. Thanks again. Yep. Bye. probably the nicest phone call I ever got. Anyway, I was somebody from the Perry County Sheriff's Department that had reached out to Ryan on, I don't know how he reached out, a couple of days ago. He sent like a video in saying thanks or whatever, and mentioned my name and Ryan's name. I don't know if it was posted on Facebook and somebody found it, or if it was sent in or what, but I think it was posted or whatever, and the guy was just sitting there saying thank you. And he's a friend of Chris Hall, my friend down there, and I told Chris when I was down there, I said, I got to talk to this guy, because when just him saying thank you made a big difference. But right there, that phone call I had just reiterates what an amazing group of people this is. Here it's 10 o'clock at night, Eastern time, and there's somebody from the Sheriff's Department calling down there just to basically check in and say hi. So that's how these people are, and it just amazes me. I continue to get this. I'm getting Facebook messages. I've been getting some emails through from people down there that are just like, oh my God, this is so great what you're doing. And it's like, guys, I don't really do this for the recognition. I do this because I like it. I like loading up the car and going down there and chainsawing a tree or whatever and helping somebody out. Like, that's what I enjoy to do. I don't care. If I didn't have social media, I'd do it anyway. It's a lot of fun. So it really is fun to help out these people, because they're always so happy and so receptive to it. There was a lot of question about, where is everybody? And I was just talking to the Sheriff's Department down there. Perry County is hazard, and basically the county that got hit the hardest. And I'm not going to give all the details away because, it was a private phone call. But I think that a big problem was in the lack of the response was, number one, how swiftly this occurred. This wasn't really planned. Nobody thought this was going to happen, guys. This was way out of left field. And also, I think a big factor in it was the fact that the personnel that should have been responding, for example, firefighters, paramedics, cops, guys, these people were dealing with floods themselves. Like, they were either stuck in their homes or their cars floated away. I was just talking to him, and he made a comment that he was actually trying to get down to where we were because he knew about it. Probably, I'm assuming he knew about it from the phone calls we had made, because I had Nikki calling the Perry County Sheriff, being like, hey, there's people here, whatever. There's people floating down the river, etc. And they were trying to get there, but he just reiterated that fact. He said he was trying personally. He lives near there. He lives in Chavies, and it's one of the worst areas hit. But he said that he was trying to get down there, but he said he went like 3 different ways, and there was like no way to get down there. There was a landslide and trees down, and then there was like 15 feet of water over the road. And like, that was the problem that I think we had, is a lot of these fire departments and the police departments and sheriff's departments, like, they had no access to these areas. All these areas were like cut off by this disaster. This disaster didn't just happen over a span of a couple of hours. It happened quick. Residents were literally saying that the water came up in like 15 to 20 minutes. They said it went from basically being just a regular rainstorm to, oh my God, we're going to die in about 15 minutes. Like, it was that quick. I mean, flash flooding, that's the definition of a flash flood, a quick flood. But you don't see stuff like that every day, especially out there. I mean, these people that have lived there their entire lives have never seen anything like that. And all it takes is that one time. And guys, this is probably where I should insert my commercial for a weather radio. If you don't own a weather radio, you need a weather radio. If you don't want it going off all the time, then you can program it to go off for the important things. And I would personally have it programmed to go off for your county, for tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and flash flood warnings. You don't need the watches going off on there if you don't want it going off all the time. That's fine. But even if you don't want it going off for severe thunderstorms, which you should have it going off anyway, but if you don't want it to, I would at least have it go off for the flash flood warnings and the tornado warnings. Because seriously, folks, these flash floods happen, and they're oftentimes a forgotten about weather emergency. People just think, oh, it's just a little bit of water. Well, I tell you what, a little bit of water can really ruin your day. I mean, we literally had mobile homes floating down a river. There was a cement truck that was moved by the water. I mean, this is serious stuff, guys. Even if you're not in a flood-prone area, you should still have something. You know, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency, which is very rare. It's the same type of product as a tornado emergency. They're only issued when there is confirmed deadly flash flooding occurring, basically. You know, a flash flood warning means that flash flooding is occurring or it's expected to occur. But a flash flood emergency means that the Weather Service is getting confirmed reports that lives are in danger and it's a true emergency. And guys, if there's one thing that I am just a little bit afraid of, I'm not afraid of anything when it comes to weather. I will drive through a tornado, I will be in a flood, I don't care. But there's one thing that I am extremely cautious about more than anything else, and it's water. Storm surge and flash flooding. And when I noticed that they issued that flash flood emergency the other night, I knew something was wrong. It was really, especially in a rural area. But let me tell you what, guys, the National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky, they saved lives that night by issuing that flash flood emergency, because there's a couple of people that told me firsthand that the only reason they took the situation seriously is because their phone went off and said flash flood emergency. So even just the verbiage, I think, saved lives that night. I mean, guys, people were resorting to clinging to the side of a mountain. They literally ran up a mountain to escape this flood. It happened that quick. And at the worst possible time, it happened in the middle of the night. I mean, that is the worst time for anything to happen. Yeah, there was a bunch of school buses too that were in that. They must have went through a school bus yard or something. But yeah, just guys, the amount of debris everywhere is just, you cannot. I cannot even describe the mess it is down there. And the only way to even come close, like I said, the video shows it, but it's still not the same as being in person. It is literally like shredded trailer homes just all the way down the sides of the road that go along the river. I'm not kidding, it is just shredded houses all the way down as far as you can see for miles and across like 6 counties. And I said this earlier, most of the population out there lives in like mobile home, like trailer homes or like the double wides, and that stuff just floats away. But they also never expected that to happen. Southern Wisconsin. All of southern Wisconsin is under that flood watch now. Got it. But I think that what happened in Kentucky here is a very sad but necessary reminder that you should really enjoy what you got, because not a single one of those people thought they were going to go to bed and wake up in the morning and either not have a home or be fighting to not die in the water at about 2 o'clock in the morning. tons of people saying that they were trying to call their relatives and warn them, and they couldn't get a hold of them, and it's just sheer panic. And we noticed that firsthand, guys. That night that I was down there in that flood, I mean, it was sheer panic. There was people in the middle of the road trying to get help for other people, and everybody was panicked. Everybody was yelling and screaming, and I had to take one lady and literally get in her face and say, you need to shut up and show me where it is, because she was panicking so bad. And you try everything in the book to try to calm them down. You know, you talk nice, you get eye level with them, you tell them you understand what's going on, and you tell them that you're there to help. But this lady was so frantic because somebody had literally got in the water and just floated down the river in front of her, and she watched him die. And it got to the point where you had to get in her face, somebody's face, and say, here's the deal, we're here to help, you need to turn around and walk, show me. And it just came down to telling people, walk and show me where they are. And that's what we did. We just, anybody that had a clue, you know, they said, okay, anybody that seemed to have a clue about any of these neighborhoods, it was grabbing them and saying, okay, show me, where's the houses? You know, where does the water normally flow? And most of these people knew the area well enough that they could say, okay, the river is normally down here. And it's like, okay, well, if it's normally down there and it's up here, that means it's like 20 feet deep, so don't do it. It was terrible. I honestly never thought that I would experience anything like that. You know, it's similar to a hurricane where you get widespread damage, but at least in a hurricane, you know what the hell's coming. You know, people in a hurricane know that it's going to get bad. A flash flood like that, you don't. Guys, I see a couple of super chats happen during the chat. I will read them, I promise. I was on the phone there, I think, when they came in. But I want to thank everybody for the support, both moral support, financial support, and everything to be able to do stuff like this. Like I said, I enjoy it. I don't do it to say, hey, look at me. I do it because I think that it's the right thing to do. And also, I get a little bit of happiness out of helping some of these guys that need it. So I'm going to take one quick look at the current weather situation right now, and then I'm going to get out of here for the night. And there might be a stream tomorrow. If there's any flooding in Wisconsin, any flooding in Wisconsin, which is possible tomorrow, I will be live for it, but I'm not sure if there will be or not. But I am keeping an eye on it. There is currently some some non-severe, so just some regular thunderstorms in northern Iowa, stretching up into northern Wisconsin. Some of those storms could reach severe limits later, but I wouldn't be too terribly worried about it. So I'm going to go sign off of here, just because I've got a couple of phone calls to make yet. So thank you, everybody. I will do some sort of an update tomorrow. If we're not live chasing floods, then we will do some sort of a live update. I got some things I want to talk about and some things I want to show everybody. So just to recap, I'm headed home from the flooding in Kentucky, just mainly because there's a potential for flooding near my home. I will be back down in eastern Kentucky at the beginning of the week to continue helping. Thanks again, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate all your support. You guys are some of the best viewers on the internet. Have a good night, and I will have an update tomorrow of some sort.